Hello, everyone. All right, so let me get this shared out. I hope y'all are having a good day. It's been a pretty good day for me. Let me know if y'all here. Drop in the comments to let me know when y'all get in. This is day one of the Digital Marketing Challenge. All right, so let's see here. I am live now. Let me get this shared out before we get started. I'm telling you the life of a solopreneur. I am not. All right. I don't know why every time I'm on Facebook, it um I don't know why every time I'm on Facebook it shows this as private, so I have to literally go in, unlock it, and do all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, drop and let me know if y'all are here while I am sharing this out. Today has been a pretty chill day. Um, Kind of low key. Like, I don't have a whole lot of energy, but I'm not tired. I was productive today, so that's a good thing. All right, so let me. All right. Okay, I think I'm done sharing it out. So, welcome to day one of the Digital Marketing Challenge. I am your girl, Jennifer L. Watson. And this challenge is going to be broken up over 3 days, where today we're going to be talking about like the foundations of marketing, right? If you don't know who I am, let me just briefly introduce myself. Again, I'm Jennifer L. Watson. I'm the owner of House of Voya Botanica, as well as the School of Magic. I've been an entrepreneur for over 8 years, full-time entrepreneur. So I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but you know what? I will never give up. I will never change anything. I am in this for the long haul, and I hope that you are too. So if you are here, drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know also too if you have any questions. Tonight we are going to be covering the foundations of marketing. So some of the information will be like SEO optimization, and especially for the spiritual entrepreneurs. I know for myself, and you can let me know if you agree as well, is that being a spiritual entrepreneur it's fulfilling, right? To get the message out there, to get your information, whatever it is that you're selling out there. But sometimes I know I felt this, especially at the beginning, is that I feel like the audience just really doesn't understand, right? And I realized that that feeling that I was feeling was really coming from I guess, deflection, right? Deflecting. And when I realized that, I said, you know what? I think people understand what it is that I'm advertising more than I'm giving, the world credit for, especially over time as spirituality, metaphysics, and all that stuff has become a little bit more mainstream. I have been in this again for a while. There's a video on my YouTube channel, YouTube School of Magic, where I talk about spirituality and the trend that it has become. And I think that was about 8 years ago. And especially now, I'm like, whoa, everybody's spiritual, which, that's a whole nother topic. But anyhow, it's not a trend. I'm not in it for the trend. Have been in this for many, many years, starting when I was 13. So that's been over, I don't know, almost 30 years. I can't add, I can't subtract, my degrees are in social sciences, not mathematics. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Creating and optimizing a professional website. So here's the thing, especially when it comes to social media, there's a few things that we need to talk about. Let's first talk about your page. If you have a social media page and it doesn't show what you do, it doesn't show what you sell, it doesn't easily show, like for example, if you post something and someone goes to your profile, and if they come to your page and they have absolutely no idea what it is that you do, then it's time to start reworking some things, right? So that means jumping in on Canva, I absolutely love. It's free. There's a free version where you can go in and make and design some, aesthetics so that people can automatically see exactly what it is that you do, right? I will say this, don't make it too busy, but make it flashy enough so people can see. I was actually digging into my, I was digging in my, I've been cleaning out my Google Drive. And in the process of cleaning out my Google Drive, I saw some of my first designs in Canva. And boy, when I looked at that, I was like, whoa, that is interesting. I have come a long way. So don't be intimidated. Get in there, make something that's very simple, that stands out. It's not too overly complicated. You don't want to put your whole bio, on like your cover, right? Especially on Facebook, or when you're on YouTube, because we're live on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, I have to go in and make some changes on YouTube. But until I do that, especially promoting what I'm promoting now, just say, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. And if you have an offer, then you need to make sure that you have a link or something in there. But, you want to make it user friendly, right? Because if someone goes and they sees, especially if you're like me, I'm a creative, so I'm constantly creating things. And if you have journals for sale, if you have bath salts for sale, if you have, conjure oils for sale, you don't want to throw all of that into the design, right? Because that's going to be like, whoa, 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 that's a whole lot there. I don't really know what I should be focusing on. So to make it a lot more simple, I would say metaphysical products, spiritual products, and then your USP, right? And so that's your unique selling point. That's what USP stands for. And so, for example, like USP for I don't know, McDonald's, because everybody knows McDonald's, is that their unique selling point is that they have been in the game selling 1 billion burgers. I don't even know if they have that on the signs anymore, but I know growing up, say, oh, X amount of billion burgers sold. Well, the underlying assumption there is that the burgers must be good. That's the underlying assumption. Not saying I agree with it or not, but that's what it is. And so when you take a look at your business, what is your unique selling point? I'm kind of moving the pace here. What is your unique selling point? Why should somebody come and buy from you? There are a lot of times, and I don't always post it up, and I know I should. So I'm talking to myself here as well as everyone else out here looking, is that if you don't have something that's going to say, hey, why are you unique? Why should I buy from you? Then chances are people are not going to buy for you. So for example, my particular unique selling point is I have two. One is for House of Oya Botanica, my metaphysical shop, where I have I've sold over 50,000 products over the last 3 or 4 years I've been on Etsy. And I have, I think, over 13,000 reviews. That's the last time I looked. And my average rating is 4.8. I've sold to over 53 countries around the world. That is my unique selling point. I would put that in a nice little sentence, but just giving you that example there, right? So that automatically tells the person, hey, oh, well, if everyone's buying from her, then maybe I should too. Maybe her products really work, right? Or a lot of people like her products. I might like them too. So my second unique selling point for this schoolofmagic.com is it's the first of its kind type of digital marketing, bundle or digital marketing bundle out there. I really haven't found anything like that. So if I'm leading the pack and doing something like this, then it's something that never, no one has really seen done before. And so that's going to pique their interest to come in and see what makes me qualified to do something like this. So when you look at your business, look at what makes you unique. What can you attest to? Especially even if you're just starting out, don't let that, dictate how you move about your business. If you are developing your business and you just started out, you may not be able to recite some of those stats, but I know that you have a unique proposition, I keep saying unique proposition, unique selling point in there. You just really have to look what it is that you're offering, who are you offering to, and how can you speak to that target market, which that brings me into number 3, which is a part of the foundation, is you got to know who you're talking to. That's the target market, your target audience. Who are you talking to? What is their language? What are they talking about amongst themselves? What are their pain points? How can you solve that problem that they are talking about amongst themselves? And that's what you need to be directly targeting, is saying, hey, People don't really want to know what you do, right? They want to know what you can do for them. And as long as you can communicate in a way, whether it's in your flyers, your marketing, etc., as long as you can communicate what those pain points are, then people are going to be more apt to say, okay, that person can probably solve my problem. Let me go and take a look and see what they have in order to do that. Now, problem solving for customers, that can go down a rabbit hole, but you really don't want to try to solve everyone's problem, because then you're going to be marketing to the masses and not making any money. People are going to be confused on, well, who are they marketing to? One of my mistakes that I made is, I really wanted to just market to everyone that was spiritual, anyone who had some interest in spirituality, you know, and that's so vague. That means I'm talking from anyone from a child to someone that's, 100 years old, who's men and women, who all of it, it's just too many people, right? But then I started narrowing down. And honestly, what ended up happening is that on Etsy, I started noticing a trend, especially for where my customers were coming from and what they were coming to me and speaking about in the inbox. And once I started noticing that trend rather early on, being on Etsy, I said, oh, that's my target market. So I didn't narrow it down. And I'm telling you this because it's going to make your life so much easier if you do it beforehand versus after, like I did, right? I just kind of went out there, didn't really have a plan, threw all my stuff out there and just saw where it, fell, right? And that's really not what you want to do, especially if you want to be strategic and growing your business. It's best to do it at the beginning, not figuring it out during the course, which is what I did, okay? Now, for example, one of the things that, especially on Etsy, is that I noticed that a lot of my customers come from Georgia. A lot of them come from California. And I noticed an age trend. And that's usually between about 25-ish to about 45-ish, and mostly women. So now I have a better target market to kind of narrow down in what it is that I'm advertising, right? Especially to that particular age group. But now I have narrowed it down even more. And the reason why is because I've realized that there are some things that I really enjoy talking about, and that is business, because this has been embedded in me since I was 8 years old. I can't run from it. My friends from growing up, they can all tell you how I was always trying to sell something. Not trying, I was selling something. And this is who I am. I can't run from it. So now I've not narrowed down my target market to entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs, because hey, that's what I am, and I want to help those out there that are just like that. So even if you start out with one target market, it's okay if it narrows down, and that's, or niche down. That's that word, NICHE. Niche down. The more that you niche down, not too much, but the more that you niche down, the better that your marketing is going to be. The better words that you're going to be able to put behind your marketing, or the phrases, or the colors, or the fonts, right? Because those things speak to different age groups. For example, when you're looking at children's, whatever it might be, you notice that there is a certain type of font that's used. It's not like this elaborate cursive thing when they're marketing toys and such to kids. There's something simple, usually bubbly and fun. And so if you have a business that's talking, like you're selling kids toys, but you're trying to market the kids toys, you're not going to make this confusing writing on the outside. So this is one of the prime examples why I suggest that you have to narrow it down. If you don't know who you're talking to, then you're not talking to anybody at all. Okay. Now, I have gone off on a tangent. I have my whole outline here on my phone right beside the screen, but it's okay. Got to go and talk about whatever comes to mind. That's where spirit is leading me. Okay. Now, let's switch gears and talk about SEO. Well, we're going to say that. I'm going to talk about SEO, but I want to keep going along this theme, especially for our online presence. Social media marketing is absolutely huge. It has been huge. I was on Facebook when it first started, literally 2005, in February 2005, my senior year of college. And I didn't know that it would become this thing that it is. People spend billions of dollars. And I forget what it was. I just saw it the other day, but it's like billions of dollars of advertising on social media, and they know that it's working. So people are paying to be on social media, but what about people who don't want to pay, right? Well, this goes back to my first point. You have to make sure that your profile is speaking to your audience. You don't want to get, I have seen this plenty of times, and I go and I'm like, oh my God, I just really want to tell them, like, no, don't put that, where it's got something completely off topic that's in their bio, or their little short bio, or maybe they own a business and they're trying to sell business, and I forgot to turn the AC on. I'm gonna have to tell my daughter to do it in a minute. But maybe they're selling like business consultancy services, but they have a picture that's dark, you can't see them, or maybe they're sticking out their tongue or giving, putting the middle finger up, and I'm like, no, no, somebody's not going to take you seriously if they come to your profile. And so make sure that you're doing a complete audit of your entire social media presence, right? Now, if you also are like me, where you have multiple things that you're doing, one thing that I can say that has worked for me is compacting it into, one particular kind of bundle thing. And that's what I did with the schoolofmagic.com. I took every single thing that I do that's fits all into magic, spirituality and metaphysics, into one particular bundle. So it makes it easier for me to market me and what I do and what I offer. But it wasn't always like that. So if you find yourself having, a t-shirt company, and you also do catering, I've seen this too online, and then maybe, you might do nails, well, that's confusing. If somebody, now let me pause here and say, is that in hustle culture, that's okay to keep, because hustle culture to me is that you're just doing anything that you can do to make money. Nobody's going to really take you seriously as a business if you are doing nails, you're doing t-shirts, you're catering, XYZ. But that's okay for hustle culture. That's what it is. I've been there. I know what that's like. But if you want to really get the respect, and the presence, have a respectable presence online, then you need to make sure that you're narrowing it down. It's just not possible for you to advertise all of that on one particular page. Now, if you have separate pages for each of those different niches, then that's great, as long as you can manage it. I know I can't. I gave up having multiple pages. I have multiple pages, but I don't ever use them. Eventually, sometimes I'll share stuff out to it, but I focus on one, so that way I can keep all of my focus and all of my attention on one particular page and boosting and growing the presence of that one, right? And that's the one that you're watching, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook, okay? And if you go and take a look and see my profile, right, it's okay to add some personal things. It doesn't have to be all business. And I have found, and I know this, is that if you post continuously business, 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 buy, nobody's going to really pay attention to it, and they're going to get tired of looking at it. I know this from experience, because sometimes I will sit there and I will test and I'll see, okay, who's going to react to this? Who's going to react to that? Again, I've been on Facebook since 2005. You will not see any of my pictures from when I was in college through a young adult. All the club pictures, all that stuff, completely hidden, right? Set to only me. And that's because I treat my social media presence as such. I don't care. I don't care for you to see me drunk dancing in a club. I just don't. That doesn't represent, my business. Now, will I tell you that? Maybe, I don't care, right? Nah, I was in my 20s having fun. But I want to make sure that people are not coming to judge me first and then maybe listen second. I want them to judge me based on what it is that I'm offering. And then once I build that know, like, and trust factor with my audience, then I can start sharing some personal stuff. Everything that I do, and this is something that you need to do too, everything that I do on social media is strategic. I don't get on there rambling. I don't get on there. I mean, sometimes I might ramble a little bit, but it's strategic enough. I don't get on there and put all of my, like, oh, I'm mad at this person, et cetera, et cetera. No, no, and no. And I'm not saying that's wrong or you shouldn't do it, because people do it and that's okay for them. But if you want to take your social media presence seriously when you own a business, then that's the way that you need to go. Now, there's oh, good. Hey, Nasha, what's up? Now, here's the thing, too. I have seen, and there's one person that I really admire, and I think she is absolutely brilliant in doing this, is that she will mix business and very ratchet posts. But she's strategic in mixing business and ratchet posts together, and it works for her. So if you can find a balance between going far left and bringing it back to what it is that you do, then yes, you can do it. I don't have the wherewithal to teach you that, because I can't focus on two different things. But she is brilliant and she does absolutely fantastic at it. And if you're interested in knowing who she is, I don't know if she's here or not, but maybe I'll see if she can come on and talk a little bit about it. Or maybe I'll say, hey, can I post, this? Then go ahead. But yes, hold on one second, y'all. I have got to tell my daughter, hopefully she got her you know what, y'all wait, I gotta go cut the AC on. We got two thermostat units, and I always turn the one off upstairs and I forget to turn it back on before I come in here and get on live. So hold on, y'all, because Lord, I'm about to burn up in here. Okay, whew. All right, I'm about to feel that air coming in here in a minute. All right, so let's see here. Let me go back to my notes here. So yes, so just being aware of all of that, and also too making sure that you are demonstrating. I guess the best way to say it is that when you're on social media, you want to make sure that you are expressing almost kind of like your mission and purpose through the post that you put up, right? And that's where you start teaching and engaging. You teach and engage, and people are going to start building up, and well, it's going to continuously build up that know, like, and trust factor, right? Now, I don't know why I'm out of breath, but give me 1 second. Let me get my breath for a second. Because the name of the game is know, like, and trust. I was around during a time where you could not just bring out a phone and start recording things, and thank God, that did not exist. Like, I found that camera that you had to hold like this, that I took when I was in college. My daughter was like, oh, can I see this? And I was like, no, I can't find the tapes. And that's good. Video's not as, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But making sure that you are putting up posts, engaging with people, dialoguing. I myself, I'm getting better at it, because again, I didn't grow up with social media, so to speak. I was still in college. I was in my 20s. So I'm learning, like, okay, social media is a thing. Social media is a thing. And people take it seriously. So you should take it seriously too. Okay. Now, also, I know, okay, so I have my notes over here, but my tangent went completely off of my notes. So I'm just going to kind of bring it back to what it was that I was going to talk about originally. But Spirit told me to go there, and I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm just going to go ahead and go there. Okay. Okay. So when you are developing or showing your business, what is your branding, right? What is your brand identity? What is your message? What is it that you want to get out to the world? What do you want people to know about what it is that you offer? I give myself an example because, of course, it's myself and I know my examples. I don't know everyone else's business. So if you have a question, definitely drop it in the comments and I'll give you some feedback and such. But for me, my message is that I want to change people's lives through the non-physical, through the spiritual, through the metaphysical, right? Through the unseen. That's what I do. That's what I do with my products. That's what I do with my services. And so that has always been my underlining brand identity. I change people's lives through the unseen. And so anything that I post, it usually has something to do with spirituality, magic, or manifestation. Those are my three pillars. That is what I do. That's my messaging: spirituality, magic, and manifesting. So when you take a look at your business, what is it that you want to do, right? And if you can sum it up to one word, then it makes it easier when you have to remember your focus. So like for me, again, I summed it up to, into three words, but manifestation, magic, and oh man, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so and that's going to speak to who it is and what it is that you offer. Okay. Now you also too, in crafting that brand identity and your messaging, I like to take a quick little Google Doc. I will type up an outline. I will do a brain dump, and then I'll go back and organize it later. What is my business? Who am I? Why am I in business? Why am I here? Right? I have a few different reasons why I'm in business. What is it that I'm offering to people? And I outline it. It doesn't have to be pretty, you just have to start. So if you're starting a business and you're not really sure, like, what is it? Why am I doing? Write it out. Just dump it out. It doesn't matter if it's not a full sentence, just dump it out. And once you dump it out, you can go back in and start restructuring it. You can even leave it there for a day or two, allow some, information to come to you, spiritually, and then go back in and edit it. That's what you got to do. You just have to start. And then deciding what your principles are. What are you going to bend on? What are you not going to bend on? So, for example, for me, one of my principles, and I used to bend on this, I don't anymore, but I used to bend on it a little bit, not a whole lot, but pricing, right? Pricing. That's one of the things. People want to come and get a deal, right? But you don't never see nobody going in the Walmart every single time that you want to buy something and argue the cashier down on the price, right? I'll do it every so often. For example, if I go to the store and there's a rip in the shirt and that's the only size of the shirt, and I'm like, hey, can I get a discount? Then of course that's warranted. But to go in there and argue down something that's perfectly fine for a discounted price, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And I get a lot of people in my inbox on Etsy arguing that down. I mean, not a whole lot. I do get people asking me. And if I'm going to set the tone for how what my business is, what my principles are, what my values are, then I'm going to set the tone. That's it. That's it. That's it. And what will happen spiritually is that the more that you do that, whether it's about pricing or anything else, the more that you do that, you're sending a message out into the universe of, this is the type of customer that I want. This is the kind that I don't want. And I have done that enough to not get people coming. I have recognized, okay, now that I am telling, like, look, no, no, and no, I'm noticing that I'm getting a different clientele that's coming in. And I was actually talking to my mentor, a couple of weeks ago about not something in regards to, in regards to business. And he told me something that was very profound. And it was along the lines of that, what I just mentioned, of telling the universe what kind of customer you want and what kind you don't want. And it just dinged in me. I was like, oh my God, that's what I've been doing. And that's what I have to do and handle in this other particular situation as well. So I suggest that you do the same thing as well. Now, also to kind of going back to social media a little bit, is making sure that you are sharing, not just your business, but your journey. I can sit here and talk about my entire business journey all day long. And it's because I have done some of the dumbest things, and I've done some of the smartest things, and I've done some of the what the hell were you thinking things, right? But that's okay, right? Because the more that you continue on this journey, the more mistakes that you make, the more that you learn. Life is about learning. It really is. And as long as you learn the lesson behind it, you will not repeat the mistakes, okay? Now, if you're sharing your journey, make sure people are knowing out in your, in your whatever, find something that is relatable to your niche that's that happened in your journey. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. So, for example, if you market to parents with kids, if you're a parent, talk about being a parent. If I don't necessarily my target market is not necessarily, parents, so to speak. But if it was, I would talk about being a parent and a business owner and in the spiritual world all day long. But it's not. But if it belongs to you, then definitely do that. Find something relatable so that people can talk. Even if it's a little meme, right? That you may or may not have created, put it out there. Make it relatable. But one of the key things is that when somebody comes to your social media page, my friend was just talking about this the other day, and I was like, oh, you are so right. Is don't let somebody come to your page and see a bunch of shared content from someone else's page. The goal when someone comes to your page is to see what you are putting out, even if you didn't make the picture, but to see what you are putting out. And if they're going to see a bunch of shared content, kind of subliminally, it's like, oh, this person, do they really know what they're talking about? So they might begin to question your authenticity, or they might start to question, your not integrity, but your expertise. That's the word that I'm going to use. Whew. I'm telling y'all, I'm sitting here talking on and on and on. I got to catch my breath. So just keep that in mind. I know I kind of went back to social media a little bit, but it just seems to be the theme of the day. All right. Now, also too, so also too, here are some things that you want to do too, is make sure that not only are you engaging, but you are consistent. Oh Lord, here's another one of the mistakes I know about. But being consistent, being consistent. I don't care what it is that you do, but being consistent is going to be important. Okay. If you are not consistent, people are not going to take you seriously. I have made the mistake. I have started, especially on YouTube. So this is going out to YouTube too. I have made the mistake of starting videos, posting them, and then I stop. I'm telling y'all, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm perfect, but I would post and then I would stop, and then I would see a decline in subscribers, and then I would post and then I would stop, and then I started a talk show, and then I didn't follow through with that. So I was like, oh, I've got to figure out something that's going to work for me. Like, am I trying to do this? And this is me in my head. Am I trying to do this for the sake of doing it? Or is it something that I really want to do? Or does it speak to what it is that I'm doing? So I'm asking myself all of these questions. And I'm like, okay, I need to come to a conclusion on how I can be consistent. That's going to be, it's going to fit my kind of schedule, right? And so Friday night, I'm never going anywhere. God knows the last time I didn't gone out to a club or anything like that. So Friday night at 7:00, I said, I am dedicating that to doing readings. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And the reason why I said, okay, doing readings, and I'm telling y'all my thought process so that you can relate it to yourselves, is I said, okay, doing readings is something that, doesn't really require, a lot of pre-planning, right? I am such a Sagittarius where I am free with the wind. So reading's not a lot. It's just one time a week. It's not like I'm doing it every day. So can I stick to this? And I, kind of gave myself some dap myself up inside my head and said, okay, we can do this. And so that is going to be, and I'm telling y'all now, so y'all can hold me accountable, but that is going to be what I'm going to do to be consistent. I have seen what happens when you are consistent, and I've seen what happens when you're not consistent. And trust me, I want to be consistent, and so should you, okay? Woo! All right, y'all. I think I have been rambling for the past 30 minutes. So this is day one of the Digital Marketing Challenge for spiritual entrepreneurs. I am your girl, Jennifer L. Watson. I know you have heard me mention theschoolofmagic.com. So if you have not checked it out, I want to make sure that you check it out. And let me know if you have any questions. But hold on first. I see some comments coming in. So let me see. I got to read. Okay. In terms of content, here, let me try to show it on the screen. Uh-oh, no, I don't want to hide it. Stop, see, here we go with me and technology. Oh, wait, okay, here we go. Did it pop up? Oh, okay. In terms of content, is it best practice to keep to one type of content or variety on these platforms? So I have found that a variety, especially like for example on Facebook, it works. And the reason why is because is that your people don't always read. So some people may watch reels. Some people don't watch reels, but they might watch a live, right? And if they don't watch a live, then they might go and read. And so if you keep with, like for example, I might say, hey, we're talking about dogs today, right? I might do a video of a dog. I might write a longer piece or post on a blog, but I might take that post and I might shrink it down and turn it into a reel, or I might turn it into a meme. So you don't have to necessarily change the variety of what exactly it is that you're talking about, but more so taking that same bit, that one piece of content, and changing and stretching and making it different, right? So I found, to sum up my question, to sum up my answer, that different forms of the same content works best. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, my dear. All right. So if you don't have any questions, you can definitely y'all drop them in the comments. I'm here. We're going to be doing this for the next 2 days. So today is Wednesday. Oh, you're welcome, Isabel. We're of course we did tonight, and then Thursday night tomorrow we'll be talking about something else within the whole marketing scheme of things. And then on Friday we will close it up with, I don't know, I forgot. I gotta go and look. I told you I went off on a tangent today, so who knows what I'll talk about the next 2 days. But I do know that on Friday I'm ending it with readings. Right? There's a consistency thing. So I'll be ending the night with business readings and advice if y'all have any questions. But so make sure that you're joining again, either on YouTube or on Facebook, since this is going out to both. But if you missed it, theschoolofmagic.com is where you want to get at. Again, I have been a creative for many, many years. So I know what it's like to have to create a bunch of things. And the schoolofmagic.com is full of private label material, private label rights material, master resale rights material. It just sounds like a tongue twister. But then also too, you can resell the access. So you get master resale rights to selling the access to the School of Magic. Once you get into the School of Magic, or if the person that you sell it to gets into the School of Magic, they can go into the PLR vault. They can take whatever I've dumped in there. They can change it. They can make it their own. They can slap their name on it. I don't care what you do with the content in there. Now, the Master Resale Vault in the schoolofmagic.com, well, that's a little bit different, but I do have some of my ebooks in there, like the Candle Magic for Beginners ebook. I also have Manifestation for the Entrepreneurial Wannabe ebook in there. You can go in there and you can sell those ebooks. And the best part about all of this is that you get to keep 100% of the profits, okay? I don't have anything to do with the money that you make on your side. But I will tell you, it is a one-time $99 investment. One-time $99 investment, and you get access to all of cards that I'm dumping in there. I'm in the process of adding those in there. Courses, my ebooks, reels. You get social media post ideas. It's a lot. And the more that I add into this, the price, that one-time price, is going to increase. So I'm suggesting that a lot of people jump in there and get in there now before that price increases. So if you want to learn a little bit more, definitely check that out at theschoolofmagic.com. You don't want to miss it. All right, it's your girl Jennifer L. Watson here. I will see you all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook, as well as the School of Magic on YouTube.